Should we start the service anthem, please? Okay, that's our service anthem, and without service, no bank can really fulfill anybody's wish. So if you've not heard this was our service anthem, and we should be proclaiming it, we should be proud of it. During the course of my presentation, you will see why we should be proud of it. A very good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining this evening's. I am Privy Yogi, and on behalf of Privy League program, I welcome you all. We are here today to reintroduce one of our most valuable banking programs, the Privy League program, all in its new form and glory. Privy League is a premium banking program designed exclusively for our premium customers, saluting their relentless spirit, acknowledging their journey, and celebrating their achievements. There's a lot in store for you this evening. So without further ado, let's begin. I would like to commence this evening by requesting Mr. Virat Devanji, Group President and Head, Consumer Banking, to join us on stage and give us an outlook of the industry and what's the unique opportunity that we have for Privy League. Virat sir.
करना पड़ेगा।
I don't prefer doing this, otherwise that everybody will think that the next election I am contesting, so I want to avoid like that. So good evening everybody. I think there might be some questions. What are we up to and what we are trying to do? I think it has been a long time that we had what I would call it as a real deep dive into what the product offerings that we have. And maybe about 6 months back, we embarked on the journey that how can we revive this Privy League program We had several discussions, debates, I'm not using the word fights, to get some of the features aligned and everybody on board. And finally, today we are here. There is some kind of an excitement, enthusiasm, and it is not, I can assure you, it is not some of the things that we know that new Liril. We have a new marketing guy from Leeward, so my thing is that it's not like new Liril. The important thing for us to really think about is what this program is all about, and at this stage, if there is anything that bothers each one of us, is the area which was supposed to be one of our greatest strength in the industry, and which is the SA balances. 2011 to 2020, we had a fabulous run. While COVID has come and gone, the after effects of COVID on our SA still continues, and none of the vaccines have worked. I hope this is one vaccine which can help us to get out of the COVID which has stuck our SA. The importance of this program is manifold, in the sense that we read a lot that Indian economy is growing, and it is growing significantly better. We all know how the wage structures in the country has moved in last couple of years, how the businesses have done in spite of the global recession, or whatever you may want to call it. India is different. At this stage, at least, it is safe for us to believe that it is different. And it gives us an opportunity that in this period where we have many more millionaires coming up on a regular basis, how can we have and create an exclusive product for that segment, which at one point in time we were extremely proud of, okay? Means it has been almost what, I remember 2006 where this, or 7, when this Privy or Priority as a as a product which we launched to graduate into an umbrella product that we call it as a Privy League program. We have done tinkering with the product in between, but I think this time it's a full-fledged revamp of the product, and hopefully this would help us to attract customers, because we seriously believe that this product offering will create differentiation for our customer with the competition. And that's the most important element today, that apart from many a times, and I have heard this after we reduced our flagship rate of 6%, saying that what is there in the product, I believe the revamp of this product makes it equally exciting, if not more. The important thing for us is to really value the product offering. I can assure you, as many people as we have in this room will have that much opinion. We have tried our best to create a product which has the required differentiation, value addition for our customers. The most important thing for us is to be proud in the product that you have, rather than saying, my product does not have this small element what the competition has.
Be confident, be proud, have pride in what you are offering to the customer. And for heaven's sake, please don't dilute the product offering. One of the things which I had told Priyanka, that there will be no deviation matrix for offering this product. We have to have trust in the product that we offer, because unless and until we go with the whole heart and with confidence, I'm sure the dilution of the product will do more harm than the benefits that you are likely to get. And that's where I want the leaders sitting in this room to really make sure that your team believes in this product, is confident in selling it, putting it across to the customer, and live to the true value that this product proposes to offer. More details will follow as a part of this event, but it is important for us that this is one important element for us to resurrect our SA growth rates. It has always been, if you guys remember, we started off with a tagline saying, think investment, think Kotak. We have focused on the mass affluent customers, and I don't think we should be thinking on those lines of surrendering the positioning that we had in offering premium products to our customer. In my sense, we will play the game depending upon the pitch. We have two different matches going on just now. This is a test match, 5-day test match in my cricketing jargon. 8-1-1 is T20. That's the difference, kind of difference that I want you guys to think about it. But it is important for us that we make sure that we make the most of the external environment which is more conducive. We must make sure that we make the best use of this product through the internal processes and the product offerings that we have. So, all the best. More details to follow. But I want to see good numbers coming out of this. And I'm repeating again, have faith, pride in the products that you're offering. Don't degenerate yourself or feel that the others have a better product. We have made our best, we have tried to put the best foot forward in devising the value proposition which should benefit our customers. And the point that I'm trying to drive home is that interest rate is not the only thing when it comes to liabilities product in garnering the market share. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Virat sir, for sharing your outlook. I'm sure the teams are motivated over here after hearing about the proposition from you. And yes, an important fact that we should not be diluting it. It's been thought through, a lot of debate has gone behind it, the channel feedback has been taken, and a lot from your heads have also been taken into consideration from this, apart from the competition benchmarking. Now requesting Mr. Puneet Kapoor, President, Product, Marketing and Alternate Channels, who will be sharing the illustrious journey of Privy League, which started in 2009 and its way forward. Please, Puneet sir, could we have you on stage? Yeah. You have to put it on.
Hello? That's better. Okay. Actually, the journey for Privy League goes much earlier than 2009. 2009 is when we officially branded it and launched it after we got confidence कि हाँ कुछ बना दिया, product माल बिकेगा, लोगों को training दे दी है, अब इसको एक नामकरण कर दो. The proposition actually started much earlier than then, and May 2009 is when we officially launched Privy League. Uh, Not many of you may be able to connect except for Narendra, Manish. Bhaskar was still in KLI at that time, so he wouldn't know. Virat and I are the two oldest assets of brand Kotak. Assets in the context of balance sheet or assets in the context of barcode, yet to be decided. But we are the two oldest assets for consumer bank in front of you today. Let me take you to 2009. What did we create and how did we introduce Privy League in our company and to the market? Can we have the AV, please? Thank you. कोई भी क्रिएटिव पहली बार पढ़ के समझ में नहीं आता है, इसको कई बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा to get the deep meaning and essence of what this says. Every word which was highlighted in red has a meaning, and that's what our aspiration of the Privy League proposition was. 14 साल का वनवास खत्म, 2009, आज 2023, right? We are relaunching the proposition in a new mold. But like Virat said, it's not about Naya Rin or Naya Liril. It's actually meaningful and impactful. Rohit, who's all of 7 weeks old in the system, newcomer, his constant question to me has been, in his marketing hat, customer pull kahan hai? Maal bechte kaise ho tum? So I said, I'll never expose you to my sales channel. Because you'll dissuade them. तुम पूछोगे उसको कि तुम माल कैसे बेचते हो, कहेंगे हम माल बेच पाते ही नहीं क्योंकि तुम्हारे प्रोडक्ट में जान ही नहीं है. So I wanted to save you from that rigor that the sales channel can put you to. Yeah. But what you're going to see when Priyanka takes the stage again on what we have stitched together, there is a genuine pull that's getting created. Like Virat said, I see very little scope for anyone coming back and asking us, अभी इसमें ये भी कमी रह गई है, वो भी कमी रह गई है. What we have is what we will take to the market and play on the front foot. That's the whole message. Most of our product launches are, there's a small, subtle addendum. Target kya loge? Yeah, but we are not going to talk about targets today because the evening is more about understanding what we have and how we will take it forward to our franchise, create a new franchise, and cement the existing franchise with the value prop that we have created. There's a lot more to come in the evening. Back to you, Priyanka. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Puneet. well, it's been quite a journey that we've embarked on all these years. And as you already saw in the AV, the swoosh has always remained with us. It's a new avatar, but the swoosh will always remain with Privy. And that's called the Privy swoosh for all those people who don't know. As Privy League embarks towards a new beginning, I would now like to welcome Mr. Rohit Bhasin, Chief Marketing Officer, to share his thoughts on what an HNI customer really, really wants. And he actually comes from that industry, so he's going to give us that perspective. Over to you, Rohit.
Thanks. Can you hear me? Okay, guys, this is a very special day for me. This is the first product I'm launching in my new job. So a year, 2 years from now, when you talk about the amazing success that you will achieve with this product, I will remember it with very fond memories. So no pressure on you, but given the fact that it is my first launch, for that reason, whatever targets that Virat gives you, you will actually double those targets because, next year we must have a different conversation on this one. Yes, as Puneet said, that been about 7 weeks into the company, very excited to be here, and I'm loving every moment, learning something new, very new and different industry, but I'm really, really delighted and excited to take us through the next journey on Privy that Priyanka and the team have created. I think the most fundamental question which I've always tried to ask in the last 7 weeks is the fact that, are we creating a product, have we created a product and then we're finding a consumer for it, which in many cases happens, or do we actually understand who this consumer is? Uski needs kya hai? What is he looking for, he or she is looking for, and does our product genuinely answer those needs in a differentiated and superior manner? And that has been my challenge to Gaurav, to Priyanka, to Puneet in the journey of Privy. And I'm very excited that we have found a proposition. We found a proposition which is genuinely meeting the needs of the consumer. So let's start with, who is this consumer? Who is our HNI consumer? And this HNI consumer is not the one who's looking for getting 1% cash back. Of course, that is important, but that is not what he's looking for. There are two things which are important to this person. If you don't remember anything in the entire presentation, remember two things. First is, can you make me feel special? Can you help me grow my wealth? These are the two things which are his basic needs in life, depending on where he's reached. Can you make me feel special? Can you give me exclusivity? Can you get me things which are not just about what money can buy, but something which only I can get or a few people can get? So exclusivity, make me feel special is the first thing. Second thing is, I've worked hard to reach this place and I've got a bit of wealth. Can you help me grow my wealth? So you must look at the entire mix that Priyanka takes you through. Is it answering these two questions? Are you making me feel exclusive? Are you helping me grow my wealth? And I think when you take this thing back to your customers, explain to them on these two parameters, how will this Privy proposition make you feel exclusive, make you feel that you're getting something which it's not just about money. And the second thing is, how will it help you grow your wealth? If you can just land these 2 points to your customers, just these 2 points. I'll again repeat, does it make you feel special? Does it help you grow wealth? Trust me, you will not have to sell this product to your customers. There will genuinely be demand. People will say, I want to be a part of Privy. So that is, in summary, what I wanted to talk about. This is what the consumer is looking for. This is what the mix has been built to answer. And what I would really love to hear from you at the end of the presentation is what do you think about it? And it's not just about a one-way conversation saying, this is what we have made, you go and sell it. The team would love to hear what are your thoughts. Do you like it? Because most of you are, every one of you is a Privy consumer. If you do not feel that this is a product that you want, how will you sell it to your customers? So therefore, give feedback to the team. That will help us improve the product even better over the times. But answer this question, how you feel about it, and what will be your personal pitch that you will take to sell it to your customers. So I'm very excited and I can't wait for what Priyanka is going to share with us. And all the best.
Too much pressure. All the bosses have spoken right now, so there's a lot of pressure, but I'm sure everybody will love what we're going to be showing. Thank you so much, Rohit. It's been insightful. It's what exactly an HNI customer wants. I think while we're at it, you will get to know why and when and what. I would now liability products and merchant acquiring business to start the grand unveiling which everybody has been waiting for. So, yeah. I'd also like Mr. Puneet Kapoor to please come on stage.
So Puneet, would you join me on stage
Please.
for the... You know, when we were seeing that video, so, you know, the depth of those words and the meaning was really coming out with the music it was. Yeah. So it reminded me of... No, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could feel, you know, thoughts of Godfather, Star Trek, everything, you know, coming, you know, how heavy it was and all that coming out. So now, this time, I think we have a new version. And though it's not old wine in new bottle, it's a refreshing new product completely, which we believe. So I would request that, can we do the unveiling
Absolutely.
of the new AV? So this is a grand old product now in the new avatar. So thank you, Puneet. Maybe we can have this views coming. Obviously, you know, when you look at a virtual thing, and Rohit would be wondering, you know, the questions he's asking that, you know, what are you offering to the customer, the promise. So one of the very key aspects of a customer program, financial services are not a, you know, material product. It's all virtual in a way. But there is a physical manifestation of this product, which is what the customer sees day in and day out, which is the card. Now, the card which you hold signifies what program of the bank are you a member of. And this is a very, very important aspect of any program. Because while, you know, at the time of sign up, you may give a brochure, you may show this video, you may give the marketing material, but what actually the customer is left out with is the card. So one of the ways to, you know, show or differentiate ourselves and to categorize, while internally we can categorize well, but to make the customers feel special through a differentiated offering is also offering a differentiated card. So we would like to unveil the cards which we are now unveiling. So as Privy League members who earlier had cards, debit cards of the Privy League program, which had not too much of a differentiation, all were black in color. Now I think we've taken a new avatar completely. And I would like to call on stage for unveiling the first card, Mr. Rohit Bhasin. Rohit, would you please come on stage? And Mr. Narendra Agarwal, National Head Branch Banking, Growth and Emerging Markets. So we decided to have a bit of fun here. So I have a remote control here, and I would be bringing the card to you remotely. And once it comes to you, you can stand on both sides so that it will come in between you. Yeah? So can we start with your permission? Yeah. Okay, let's start. First card. Rohit and Narendra, can you do the honors? So, ladies and gentlemen, please give hands for our first debit card, the texture card. Thank you so much, Narendra and Rohit. So, this is the first in the series of cards that we have. We have 3. And can I request Puneet again back on stage, along with Mr. Amarnath Janardhan, National Head Branch Banking Prime Markets, to unveil the next card, which is our unique LED card. Can we have the second card, please? Sorry, so you have to stand a bit apart. So this is a unique LED card, but the fact is that, you wouldn't have been able to figure out what is so unique about it. And the only way you will be able to figure it out when you use it. So when you go and do a tap on phone transaction, or you dip the card in the terminal, POS terminal, that is when this card has got a property which is very unique. So while we unveiled, we could not unveil the unique features. You can get to know about its unique property only when you use it. And now for the finale and the last card, may I please invite Virat sir. And, okay, so Mr. Manish Kathuria, President and Business Head, Privy NR, Corporate Salary and Task, to do the honors. Can we have the third card, please? So a round of applause for this unique metal art card. And this is a design specifically with a very nice logo and an artwork which is unique. The card material, as again I said, is metal. So you'll be able to experience when you get your hands on a card. So that's it from my side. Priyanka, you want to take us through the rest of the presentation?
Thank you so much, Bhaskar. I guess a lot has been said and done already. We'll take you through quickly on the deck, and then we have something very interesting coming up. But till then, let me start. So we're doing something very interesting, and I want participation. As Puneet already said, it's not a one-way conversation, nor Rohit also said we want feedback, we want things. It's going to be a little bit of fun. And there are goodies for you all. So it's not that I'm just asking you all for something. I want the RMs or anybody in the crowd to tell me. So there are going to be keywords coming up. What comes to your mind? Anything, top of mind, recall when you see that keyword is what I want you all to say. I have my colleagues over here. If they feel that it's creative enough or it's close to what we are proposing in the proposition, you will be getting something from them. So can we start? The first one being neon. What comes to your mind when you hear neon? Light. What else?
Brightness.
Oh, interesting. Disco, very interesting. Yes, creative. Anything else? Okay, so there are only two people over here.
There's something catchy to bring eye on it.
Interesting again.
Something out of the box.
Something out of the box. Could we have something for her? It is out of the box. I don't think a bank has associated with neon at all till now. The next, black. Manish, you're not going to speak. I want others to speak, please. This is very close to Manish's heart. That's why I'm not asking him to speak. Black. Anything else?
Royal.
Royal. Yes.
The class.
Okay. Could we have?
Class.
Nice, interesting. Next.
Bold.
Bold. Okay. Dining. Could be. It's time. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's really, really creative, please. So should get a sweetener. Swiggy. Who said Swiggy? Double points over there, please. I'm sure you've seen the AV very attentively. Yes. Next. Travel. And that's only if you all get leaves. I cannot sanction that. That's from there. So if you're anything, your mind can
Make my trip.
Make my trip, okay. I didn't hear that. What was the other one after make my trip?
White card.
White card, okay, interesting. With your white card.
Lounge
access. One of our major pitching tools. Yes. Okay. I don't know whether nowadays lounge is a very big product, but yeah. Platinum. Oh, yeah, good. Interesting, very creative.
Platinum ring.
Yeah, that's why he said girlfriend. So he's associated with that. And to the leadership team who are answering, don't give the voucher, give the sweetener. That's the sweetener for them, yeah. The next, we'll go a little quicker. Experiences. Quick. Top of the mind recall. Experiences. Memorable. Interesting. Vishal said it. Who said it over here? Yeah. Okay. LED. You all already saw the cards. Now that's going to be very, if you all say card, then it will be not creative at all. But LED. Oh. Absolutely interesting. Lead energetically and dynamically. Very interesting. Wow. Yeah, we should use that in the pitch, Rohit. We could probably look at that LED.
Cruise party.
Okay, metal. Metal trading, yeah, commodities. Correct. Cutting edge. Okay, very interesting. Whoever's answering, and it's the same people. What about the rest of the people here? At the back. Acha, that
Prestigious.
Prestigious. Okay, interesting.
Strong.
Strong. Okay, so we've had enough of this. So life is not measured by time. It's actually measured by the moments we create. And every special movement that you've created brings along stories which make it beautiful. So what would you define as your special moment? Anybody over here who's an F1 buff, except for Puneet sir that I know, but anybody else? Nobody's an F1 buff. Okay, Puneet sir, what would excite you if we actually gave you an exclusive access to the F1 team and make you meet the team? Would that excite you?
No, I want to do one up on the president of the country who flew a fighter jet. I want to drive this car.
Okay, so we'll get that organized for you surely. For those who don't like F1, do you like Italian opera or any kind of music? If you do, what would it be like if you got a chance to meet Andrea Bocelli at his private villa in Italy and have an exclusive performance by him and a private dining? How would it feel? That's your special moment. So if anybody is feeling the wow over here, that's the special moment. And this should be everybody over here, and if you all are not trying to relate to it, then there's a problem over here. Are you planning to go on a date? Or for those people who've already got married, you can still go on a date. It's not a problem. Every day I got a date. So that's what. Oh.
With 9th floor.
Okay. I don't think the next part of it you will want to do with the 9th floor, but for others, what would it be like if you got enjoy a luxurious setting right in the middle of the Indian Ocean? And these are actual setups done by and fulfilled by the concierge that we are doing work with. So this is what we started with and where the journey started. So as Virat already said, we started about 6 to 7 months back. What the premium customers are looking for. We were very, very clear and we wanted to go and understand from the industry. We did extensive customer surveys. Not only did we do a survey, we did face-to-face interactions with our existing customers. We also got internal customer insights from about 30 to 40 relationship managers on the field. And this entire research was done with a purposive sampling and a neuroscience. So it was very, very technical and cutting edge to get the two themes that I'm speaking about right now. One which came up very, very strongly was about Kotak as a brand. And this came from the customer, and therefore I told you all the service anthem should be My Kotak, My Pride. It came from our customers saying that Kotak as a brand is very trustworthy and stable. And that's why they like to bank with Kotak, and this came from actual customers. The second being the two important factors that Rohit already spoke about, which is your HNI customer. He's looking at you making him feel special. You all are the ones who need to make him feel special. In every single interaction that you have with him, he needs to feel special. The second thing why he's coming to a bank is to make his money grow. Those were the very critical things that came out. Obviously, while doing all this and in trying to create it, marketing came up with what better than celebrating you. The whole idea is celebrating the customer. And that's the outside-in approach for the first time. We've always been an inside-out bank. This is the first time we wanted to do an outside-in approach, and that's where we've come in with celebrating you. The entire program is built on 5 key pillars. The 5 key pillars are broken into making him feel special or her feel special and making them grow money. So the first is when she demands best-in-class service, and that's where lifestyle privileges came into the picture. The second being she fancies art, and all our 3 debit cards that you just witnessed are all aesthetically designed with some kind of a curation done on each one. So they are best in class today in the industry. Nobody has a textured card today. The metal card has not been released for anybody on the retail space in the premium banking segment. And even the LED card is the first of its kind. So these are the critical ones which we were talking about. And obviously, she expects attention. That's the third one in the making me feel special. She needs your attention. She expects you all to give her full attention when she's speaking and wants to know more about her money. The second side of it being grow my wealth. In that there were 2 pillars. One is she believes in expert advice. So obviously, y'all being the ambassadors of Privy, she expects y'all and she believes that whatever advice you give is the best for her. That's the first one. The second is she wants returns. Nobody is here only to come and give money. They obviously want returns. And that's where we as a bank play the best for them. So that's how we started the entire thing. To start with, it's the lifestyle experiences, and that's the first pillar. And we had a lot of debating and what we needed to give the customer, and this came from our insights that travel and making him or her feel special was the most important thing. And that's why we've tied up with one of the top concierges on the luxury space in India. And they are the ones who can bring anything to you. So as I say it, it can be anything. It can be from booking a private villa to going to Nobu or getting a Michelin star reservation or anything that you actually desire for today. They can make it happen for you. The second being dining. Dining actually brings people together. It brings families together. People usually don't have time. And dining is one thing which will never go or will never lose flavor. So that's where we brought the Easy Diner Prime membership. It's 2,000 premium restaurants across India and Dubai, and it's up to 50% off. The Club Marriott membership comes with the White Reserve card. I'm sure some of you all have already sold it. It comes with discounts across luxury stays, food and beverages, and your spas. And the last being the MMT Black Elite membership. The whole idea is this is an invite-only membership. It is not allowed to be sold in the market. It is only when you reach a certain strata that you get this membership from MMT. We've been able to give it to our customers. All this is complimentary, including the luxury concierge, which is complimentary for the registration. If they use the concierge facility, they have to pay for that service. And much, much more on the space. So we have Blade. We've tied up with Blade for our charter services, so up to 20% off. If someone wants to go from here to Pune or Surat, a self-employed customer, they can just hire the helicopter service and go. There's Wall Street Journal, there's Quicklies, there's Live Space, and you'll see everything in your Privy Privileges page. The Postcard Hotels is a boutique hotel in India, Sri Lanka, and Bhutan. We've tied up with them, and they're giving a 5,000 rupees off, and Luxury Escapes. So this is on the lifestyle piece. On the grow your wealth side, very, very critical. As a bank, Kotak has always been known for its investments and its research, and it's very, very strong. We've been among the top in every kind of investment advice that we've given. We are among the top players in the market. We also have quite a strong base of our wealthy customers who we deal with. And all this is, the research that is being given to the wealthiest family is also going to come to the Privy customers from now on. So that's a very critical thing that we've bought. The business banking solutions, everyone talks about it in some small way or the other. What's coming to them now is a whole bundle of products on the business banking side. We're the only premium banking program which doesn't only cater to a savings individual customer, but also to our self-employed current account, business banking customers as well. And we have enough and more in store for you. And we have the current account team who've helped us along the journey to get this entire bundling done in the Privy program itself. The aesthetically designed debit cards, as we already said, the metal card. The metal card is the top tier card. It's an art card, and the art has been done by an artist named Arunashu Chaudhary. It's being done with a lot of thought behind it. The actual image that you see, a lot of people might think it's an eagle or a vulture, but but the phoenix is a rare, unique, and beautiful creature. The entire card has been designed with that feel for a really elite customer. Where the metal card comes from. The LED card, as Bhaskar already told you all, it lights up when you tap it to a POS machine, or you utilize it when you're swiping your card anywhere, and the textured card. So when you actually see them, the look and feel, you'll get a feel of it, and these are the things that you need to pitch to a customer. These are all best in class. This is what actually you showcase to a customer. Our Power Pack credit cards has always been there. The white reserve, the white card, and the Zen card. We've been selling it today also. We're continuously trying to up the pitch for y'all on the white reserve and the white card, and the cards team has been helping us on it. On the banking side, we've upped the locker discounts. So we have up to 75% discount on the lockers at different years. And obviously this is a big one. Our loan rates, we've got certain discounts on the loans, including home loans and vehicle loans. And we've got preferential rates on our broking as well. Privy has always been a service for us. It's a 30-minute callback with Privy, and it still exists. CEC, and they've always been there for us. So the 24/7 customer experience, which is there specifically for Privy, and they've been engaging with our customers, that still exists. This is something new. This is what we've tried, and we wanted to bring to your notice is the service promise. So we have a selected number of service requests that now we will ensure that we promise the customer, like a Zomato or a Swiggy does, that within 48 hours, their service request will be completely completed, and if it is not, there will be a wow for them. So that's the way we are going ahead. Digital first came as one of our insights. We were ranked #1 among different competition when it comes to our mobile banking, and so we need to stick to it and be able to pitch better, because this is our forte today. And now to actually launch our 3 tiers, which has completely undergone a change. So the first tier being erstwhile Prima, which is now going to be Neon, and to ensure that the Privy brand ambassador really engages with the customer better, we've already launched this a few days back. Puneet's already launched it. The Privy League Relationship Manager, Neon, is going to be handling only this book. So there's going to be a lot of dedicated engagement with the customer, and we hope that we increase our SAR business. Platinum is the erstwhile Optima, and now the Privy League Relationship Manager Platinum is going to be handling only this book. So earlier we had a diverse book of the one relationship manager handling Privy and non-Privy. We've basically broken that out in the branch, and we have all you ambassadors for us doing that. And the highest tier, this is the entire aspirational for a customer, is the Privy League Relationship Manager Black. And to give you all the benefits at a glance, and this I'm just giving you all 2 minutes to ponder on. There'll be a lot to be said in our road shows, which will be coming to you. Important, what is in it for you? So for each RM over here, we've created an entire branding experience of Privy. You will be getting a dossier which has certain Privy merchandise to help you feel more motivated to be able to do. And for you, the RMs today, we have it over here itself. So while you're going out, you can collect it from there. And for the others, there are small takeaways as a part of the Privy League launch. We have premium welcome kits. We have a lot of things, and we want you all, as Rohit said, we want you all to see the welcome kits, go and experience it, and please give us feedback. It's very critical. It's you who's going to sell it. All this is coming to you all in some way, and we are coming to you very soon. We've already made our roadshow plans, and they're being spoken, we're speaking to all the channel heads, and we're also firming it up. But we're coming to all of you, and at the same time, there's an extensive training being done by Narayanan's team. They're going to be starting from tomorrow itself. So everything has reached everywhere, and Clap is always available to all of you all. So please do experience Privy, and welcome to the League of Their Own. and I'm sure that people are still digesting whatever we've said. But we need to move on to a very, very interesting segment of today's evening. And we have amidst us a special guest, Mr. Anirban Mukherjee, Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Consulting at Future Brands since 2008. He joined Future Brands Consulting after 14 years of experience as a brand strategist in the advertising industry. Over the years, Anirban has led strategy projects for a wide range of brands and organizations, be it Colgate, Royal Enfield, Kellogg's, Godrej, Titan, Mahindra Auto, ITC, Pepsi, and GSK. Name it, and he's been there. So Anirban has, over the years, actively been involved in strategy development of D2C digital brands, which have become unicorns, namely Licious, Swiggy, LED, and Nykaa. Nykaa, most people know over here, so yes, Anirban's been behind that. So Anirban has also been invited as a speaker to a lot of international and India forums. And today he shares his insights on beyond exclusivity, life at the top of the pyramid. So please welcome Anirban on stage. And just before we leave, Anirban has a lot of uncanny resemblance to Arjun Rampal, is what my colleague said. So I think that's a compliment or not, I don't know, but Anirban, over to you.
All references can die now. Look kind of different in person, don't it? Yeah. No, firstly, thank you so much for having me here. It's really a pleasure to come and speak at an event like this. And secondly, I mean, you know, I was just sitting there and watching the show till now, the fantastic unveil of the cards and the way it was presented. I mean, really give yourselves a big hand. Okay, so I'm here and I'm going to talk about something that, you know, it makes me nervous in front of a bunch of bankers talking about anything to do with money, banking, high net worth individuals. You immediately feel inadequate. So I'm going to start with a disclaimer. How do I have control of this? Ah, okay. Can I have that? Thank you. Sure. Where do I point it? Point it here? Oh, okay. Okay, so here's the disclaimer that I was talking about. I'm not an expert in banking to HNIs. I have never done, learned, or I don't know anything about wealth management either. If anything at all, I think over the years, working as a consultant on brand strategy, you kind of observe change. You kind of see how people are evolving, and you start seeing, patterns. You start seeing patterns of behavior, and all I'm going to do here is just draw upon some of those observations, some of that what I have seen over the years, and what is the kind of change, how has the story evolved, and maybe just talk about that a little bit, the group here. Oh, yes. Oh, I think I've gone forward. Can I go back? Ah, okay. Okay, I think we are good. I think that's the slide. I think before we talk about change and before we start saying that, what do we see when we see HNIs today? And I think it was mentioned already that, India is producing new millionaires. Our economy is doing well. There are, new entrants to this segment every day, every year. And I think it's been written about a lot. If you look at the newspapers, if you just go and look for news items under HNIs in India, you will see the kind of news headlines that have come out over the last year or so. But historically, if you were to look at it, actually there used to be very little information about HNIs. Very little information about personal wealth in India. Whatever little information existed was highly unreliable. It was also a time before this change happened. I mean, if you go back a decade or two, you will find that wealth was also seen through a very different lens. It wasn't in our living rooms the way it is today with Shark Tank. Today is a very different story. And so the idea of wealth itself was seen through sort of a very middle class lens. And It needed legitimacy, that why do you, what do you do with wealth? And why should you have so much wealth? And you needed to explain to people, and the genuinely wealthy back then, the lives they lived on the outside was very frugal. You wore simple clothes and you drove around in ambassador cars, and you could have been a large, big industrialist with a, big kind of an account with, several banks and financial institutions. And this was also an era, before this change really took place in India, where, the idea of money, you saw it as something that was fickle. You could never control it. It was always beyond your control. And you always sought to fix it. I mean, I use the word fix because you look for immovable assets. You bought land, you built homes. Of course, we didn't have as many investing instruments as we have today, but the tendency was to kind of take something which you believed was very fickle and fix it through these kind of immovable assets. So, and in a larger sense, not just the HNI, larger sense, the Indian relationship with money was full of fear. There was a lot of collective fear. There was a lot of coping mechanisms and responses. And this was universal. This was a social consensus. Everybody uniformly kind of more or less to a great degree believed in this. That, you weren't engaged. Very few people were actually confident enough to take hands-on calls with money. You were better off, outsourcing that to a large institution, and the bank was the large institution. In a large, literally a large vault, where nothing could go wrong, nobody could interfere, and most importantly, you couldn't interfere. It was out of your hands, and you were happy that it was taken out of your hands. I think in this larger context about the way we looked at money, the way we related to money, it's also important to understand what was the mindset and the world of the traditional HNI, the HNI from this time that I was talking about, before all this change happened. To a great extent, and I'll tell you a story, I mean, it exists even today in India. You'll go to cities where there are families, where there are businesses. Wealth is a collective idea. They'll tell you that हमारे घर पे पैसे रखे होते हैं ड्रॉअर में, जिसको चाहिए होगा वो निकाल लेंगे. Nobody needs to ask anybody. It's everybody's money. And that is how money existed in the life of the HNI, traditionally. Succession planning happened very late in life. So even at 45, you were Mr. Kapoor's son. You were still the understudy. You still hadn't gotten the reins in your hand. And things came to you, not just wealth, responsibility, the position as the head of whether the business of the family or the family itself. All of that came late. And so you waited for a very long time for things to come to you. And the biggest priority to do with wealth was how do you keep it within the immediate family. And a lot of this was, therefore, had implications on who succeeded the family, who inherited what, who got married and therefore could have what. The traditional world of the HNI was full of these kind of concerns and these kind of priorities. To a great extent, their role, the way they saw their role was to do, as far as wealth was concerned, was to really preserve a certain legacy. Growth rates were abysmally low back then. We all know about the term Hindu rate of growth, etc., etc. Things didn't grow as in a way that they grow today. Your wealth didn't grow in that fashion. So you focused on preservation. All the codes were around how to preserve wealth and pass it on to the next generation. The big change, and I think a lot has been said in some way or the other in the course of this evening, but what has happened today, what we see today, what is this environment that produces all these new millionaires, is that today we live in a world where the rewards are disproportionate, the rewards are sexy, and money is at a scale. If you talk to your parents about the kind of money, they will not be able to relate to that scale. It will be an abstract thing for them, to most of them. So this has given to a new risk-reward imagination, and most importantly, what it has done for people at large is that having access to money and significant amounts of money and wealth creation relatively early in life means the earlier set pattern of life goals कि अभी आप 25 साल के हो, अभी आप शादी करोगे, फिर बच्चे हो जाएंगे, फिर घर खरीद लोगे, then you start planning for kids' education, you plan for your retirement. You know, life goals were very set, they were universal. Everybody had the same set of life goals, more or less at the same time. With money coming in your hands earlier in life, these have started changing. You want to build a house, you want to own a house before you get married. You're not thinking about retirement, you're thinking about investing in your next venture. Maybe you have kids, maybe you don't. It changes everything. It changes the way you look at wealth and why you need to sort of build wealth. And I think this is something, I mean, you know, I was just reading the other day, and the fact that 10 years ago, the youngest on the list of millionaires in India, or HNIs, so to say, was 37. And I think one of the latest reports that were published, the youngest HNI was 17 years old. That's a 20-year drop. It's not just about risk appetite. Of course, you have much more risk appetite because you don't know what it means to take risk at 17 or 18 or 19. But it means a lot more than that. It means that you're talking to an audience, particularly when you're talking to the younger HNI audience, whose idea of wealth, what they need it for, and what matters to them, and what their priorities are likely to be quite different from their predecessors. And this is what we see when we kind of, you know, look at a period of time, look at change. You start seeing the emergence of new priorities, and these new priorities are emerging across the spectrum. You know, there is this, for instance, the new young HNI founder entrepreneur kind of an audience, and there are a set of priorities that are of extreme importance to them. Equally, you also have the HNI patriarch, who's the sort of head of a family business. It's not as if they are standing still. There are new priorities emerging there as well. For the purpose of today, I'm going to focus on the first. But needless to say that you see clear shifts in priorities across all kinds of segments within this, you know, this set called the HNI. The reason why, you know, this talk got titled Beyond Exclusivity is something very interesting, and I think it's been covered. The fact that people need to feel special, the fact that they want these kind of luxurious experiences which are personalized, which are catering to their specific taste. I think we've seen a lot of that in what your offering is going to kind of deliver and what it will do for customers. But when you look at what is happening in the life of the HNI, you see there is so much of this going around. And it's at times it feels that how will you even cater to the way these kind of this particular need is evolving? Because it gets called whims and fancies. What happens when something gets called whims and fancies is that there is no pattern to it. You can't predict it. It's going to be extremely granular, extremely particular to individuals. So, you know, this is an interesting story. Son of, or you know, whatever, some family, Indian family studying in the US, wanted to take his, you know, 4 dearest friends for some trip somewhere. Oh, they wanted to go skiing to, you know, a ski resort in the US. And when he said that, you know, when he requested for a private jet, he was said, just hire one, you know, you can hire a jet and take them. He said, no, you know, a hired jet is just not exclusive enough. It's been used by other people. It's not the same as your own personal family jet. So the family flew the jet from India to the US, which then flew him and his friends for the skiing resort. I'm just saying that this is probably an outlier kind of a story, but it points to where this is going. It tells you that sky's the limit, and everybody believes that they are special, they deserve something special, and they get to define what is special in that moment. So whether it's a chef, whether it's you know, taking over an entire, you know, landmark sort of a site for a party, whether it is, you know, hiring a star to come to your event, all of this is up for grabs. What is emerging very clearly when you actually look at this young HNI audience is time. And they talk about that beyond the point, more money and more wealth is great. It's great to have. I'm very excited about it, but it becomes an abstraction. It's meaningless unless I'm able to use it for something that is even more precious. What is more precious than having lots of money sitting in your investment portfolio? And they have one answer. And you see this answer playing out in different ways. One way in which this answer is playing out, for instance, is the fact that more and more, while I want to plan these amazing vacations, while I want to have these fabulous experiences in my life, I'm not going to do any of it. I'm going to outsource it all, and I think you guys have tied up with this amazing luxury concierge. That is what I'm looking for. If not a concierge, if I can afford it, I will have my own personal entourage, who will take care of my food, my diet, my travel plans, my financials, my investments. And these guys are going to be, talented, young, kind of very driven people that I'm going to be able to hire because I have the money, I can pay for that. This seems to have stopped moving. Yeah, just talked about this, that none of these guys are shopping for themselves. They're not booking their own travel experiences. They are being catered to by all kinds of boutique services. Again, a fantastic story about a startup founder in India who wanted to gift his wife Birkin bags because she was a big fan of Birkin bags. Now, Birkin bags are rare. There are only so many Birkin bags in the world, and he wanted to give her one every day for her birthday month. He found an intern, somebody to work for him, who would then, if need be, travel anywhere to source these Birkin bags. Now, after about a few Birkin bags, obviously it got really difficult for them to source these Birkin bags. But here's the ingenuity of the intern, and this tells you something about the kind of expectations that are getting set up for this audience. She found an artist, an Indian artist called Gayatri Sekri, who created a collection of sculptures using Birkin bags, or not the actual Birkin bag, but you created sculptures inspired by Birkin bags, using their iconic forms, etc., etc. And she convinced him that this was the ideal gift for his wife, who's such a fan. It is not just a bag, it's a work of art, and it's a collectible. The minor point is that not only are you outsourcing all of these things, not only do you more and more rely on this entourage of people you surrounded yourself with or services, your expectations from them are perpetually rising. And because in a lot of cases, these are very young, driven people, they are willing to go all the way. I mean, they will do anything, they'll find answers, they'll kind of, because it's a completely different expectation. There are no, no boundaries given. You can go out and try your best and see what you can deliver. Staying with the idea of time, the next generation is going to be far more demanding of their time. They will want to have time to do the things they want and not just run the business, which is what their parents did or the previous generations have done. And are not going to get pushed into things by their parents. They'd rather get professionals to do certain jobs so that they have time. Increasingly, that is what they value. And there's this interesting characterization that has emerged in recent years called time millionaires. And you're saying that, I've made money, I've got some money, but now what I would like to use, the way I would like to use that money is so that I can free up more time for myself. And that's the whole point of wealth. The point of wealth is not the number of crores sitting in your investment portfolio. It's about what is it helping free up for you. And more, younger, high net worth individuals, the newer elite, they're saying that reclaim time to do things that I want to do. That's the purpose of wealth. That's the whole point of this whole wealth creation exercise. And that's where people, concierge services, professional managers, this new entourage, who are these high caliber young professionals who become their handlers because they are handling things for them. And these guys can be hands-free, they can pursue what they want. And we'll talk about what they want to pursue. See, one of the things about this set, increasingly again, going forward, is that they're a very compact, close-knit social entity. Most of these people have and will continue to get educated in very similar institutions. They know each other from their colleges, from the unis, whatever. Marriages are happening within this social set. And they see themselves increasingly in a position to influence society, to change things, to build something new, to kind of see their ideas, their visions translated on the ground. And that has led to what we call the emergence of virtue builders. These are not just wealth builders. You are, in a sense, you've had the advantage, the privilege of having great education, of hanging out with some of the, again, like-minded people who are really great people, who know stuff, who've seen the world, who've had exposure. Today, you want to, beyond just making wealth, you want to transform things around you. You want to get involved in education. You want to get involved in sport. You want to get involved in entertainment. And we are seeing this kind of percolate all the way from the top. You see, Mrs. Ambani kind of, unveiling a huge cultural center. You see certain kinds of people who own, let's say, cricket and football franchises. Unless you're shaping, impacting, and part of popular culture and society in a larger sense, you really haven't made the most of the wealth that you sought out to make. So it's a platform. Wealth today, the true power is that it offers people, and particularly young people, a platform to build their own voice, to build their own and to express their sense of virtue and values through the kind of interventions, the kind of places that they can get involved in. We are also therefore talking about young people who've had success in life, who've built wealth, and believe that they have a sort of a unique vision. These are people who have a profound sense of importance. It is expressed through the kind of communities and networks they are a part of. We talked about the kind of institutions and transformational role that they seek to play more and more. The great importance, what matters to them and excites them, apart from having amazing lifestyle experiences, is becoming part of these influence networks through think tanks and NGOs and many other such forums. A few years ago, I was meeting an entrepreneur couple who are from Delhi, and they're from a very large business family and successful businesses across many different industries. And they were trying to do something new in the lifestyle space. And it was very interesting the way they articulated their vision. They said that, we are here to present a new way for people, for Indians who are exposed to the world. What should their life look like? We want to influence that through design, through what we offer at their homes, through the kind of clothes they wear, the way they entertain guests. And as an extension of that conversation, they invited me to stay in their home, and which gave you a glimpse into their world, how they lived, what they thought entertaining was about, what they felt was the idea of good taste. And you could see where they were coming from. It was not just a business, it was something deeply personal. And they wanted to see a reflection of that something deeply personal in the lives of other people. And in some ways, they really believed, and honestly believed, that it had the power to kind of make a positive difference, elevate people's lives a little more. I think that's the kind of influence people seek today. When they have wealth, when they've built wealth, that's the beginning of a journey. How do you use that as a platform to kind of transmit your values, your sense of virtue, your idea of good taste? How do you transmit that powerfully through your own unique voice into lives of other people? I think I sort of mentioned this earlier. I mean, businesses, funding, it was never living room conversation or entertainment in India. But today it is. Because we fundamentally live in a world where we believe that people who are successful, who have built wealth and created something for themselves, have something of value that we can pick up. that can change our lives, and we are willing to buy into that idea as a larger audience. It's creating a market for what we call high net worth individuals, or what I call the new elite, to be able to market more and more of their ideas, their visions, their set of values to a larger audience. I think if we talk about being a tightly bound sort of a community, a social entity, what becomes hugely important here is the fact that you share a certain set of community values, and those matter. So in that same conversation that we were having about, how people who are well traveled, what should their lifestyle look like, and that's what we want to market, there was a rider that there has to be something that we do with planting trees. And I was like, hey, what has planting trees got to do with, this beautiful lifestyle that you're talking about? They said, no, that's a non-negotiable. And then you start to understand that it's not just about the business that you do. You belong to a certain community, and you belong to that community because you share some values, you share similar thinking, and it must manifest in some of the things that you do. Otherwise, you've not reflected that community that believes that you're drawing from them, drawing energy, drawing resources, ideas. How do you kind of communicate to them that, hey, I respect those community values? This is a place where we explore, we are kind of, express new ideas. There's a lot of shared values going around. And this is also how people sort of invest in each other. So in this world of the new HNI, there are people perpetually, and we see this, right? We hear about how one founder is kind of supporting the other, who's investing some other business, and that is how this grows, and that is how this community gets stronger. Okay, I've sort of talked for long enough, so I'm going to just summarize with a few things. What we are seeing with the HNI today, beyond the joy of feeling special, beyond the exclusive experiences that they all crave, that is such a strong validation of the fact that they have come this far in their journey. They are also looking for new destinations. The Time Millionaire is one such destination. Everybody is talking about it. The fact that you are in a unique position and you can get involved in initiatives, take charge of certain things, where you lend your voice and you can impact society at large. That's a desire. It's a very strong desire to have that kind of influence. We are talking about people who thrive in close-knit communities. And I think it's imperative, particularly from a banking service of this kind, of like a Privy League, to understand how these communities function, because these are not the communities of yesterday, which were literally ethnic communities, capital networks. These are different. These are social communities. We also, a couple of other points, that these are people who are getting used to a certain kind of service. They're getting used to professional help. They're getting used to professional sort of assistance, no matter what area of their, what aspect of their life, whether it's their kids' education or them hosting parties. So the idea of service is very different. It's not just about personalized service anymore. It is about knowing that I have a very, very accomplished professional taking care of this. This is handled. I don't need to look at it. And finally, I think beyond the lifestyle side of things, a true exclusivity today and going forward comes from people being able to establish their voice in some aspect of social life or the other. You could become, you could be a person in a think tank. You could be driving the education kind of sector in a certain direction. You could be unlocking something in entertainment, sports, name it. But something that addresses a much larger kind of canvas of people's lives than just, being defined as a success story in business or someone who made wealth. Thank you. That's all.
Wanted to win.
Thank you so much, Anirban, for this most relevant and insightful address. I'm sure we can also relate to it a lot, considering that we just made the proposition. It's very relatable. I would now like to request Liz, President, Marketing, Partnerships and Alliances, to come on stage to felicitate Mr. Anirban Mukherjee with a token of appreciation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Pleasure being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anirban. Thank you so much, Liz. With this, dear ladies and gentlemen.
No, before you close, I have to come back.
Okay, so then, sir, please back.
Why did I have to point it out? You should have known this.
I wanted to ask you, but you said no commitments and nothing is being taken today.
I'm still not going to ask them for commitments, but there's still a couple of more messages that I have to give. I want the black background and the Privy League wala. Yeah, just stay there. Okay, Anirban, thank you. The last slide was the most meaningful one. It's deep, and I think there's something that we all need to borrow from. Message to all the RMs here and all the RMs who are listening to me on the live streaming. Anirban is today accompanied by his wife, Sharmista. Sharmista is a marketing professional in her own right. She's a celebrity author. She's also a Privy League customer. But she's still C2G1 in our books. I'm not telling which RM and which branch. It's for you to discover and figure out why have we underballed in our engagement with this super powerful couple. Okay? There's a reason why I am dressed and attired the way I am. There's a black and there's a red. There's a black and there's a red. Yeah, there's a deep meaning. The whole presentation, the Avatar 2009 and the version 2023. It continues to resonate what brand Privy League stands for. In other words, each one of us is obligated to carry the brand on ourselves. There's a lot of merchandise that Priyanka showed you earlier. Each one of this will be used and consumed in some way or the other. But the reverse promise that the business team can give to Virat Devanji is on how they will carry and speak the brand going forward. You have lots of dashboards and matrices that you follow, whether it's Magic Scorecard, CP, etc., but I'm introducing one more scorecard along with the relaunch of Privy League program. It's called Consumption Index. How many pillars did Priyanka talk about? 5. We will track every RM for his and her portfolio, what kind of a consumption index they are able to create around those 5 pillars. And that will be your singular biggest KPI as we go forward. Thank you for your patience, your attendance, your participation. All the best and Godspeed.
Thank you, Puneet, for spilling out the beans before we went for the roadshow. I thought we would say consumption index as a point over there. But yeah, no, you're part of them. You're part of them, yes. Yes. Feature utilization is very critical in any proposition, and that's where the consumption index comes from. So yes, that should be something that we all track, and we will be tracking that very, very strongly. With this, dear ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone present here and online for being part of this Privy League launch. Yes, Gaurav, we missed you a lot, considering that you've done a lot for this. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our senior leadership for your time, guidance, and valuable words always. It's taken a journey to build this, and I hope we are able to build much more in the future with feedback from everybody. We would like to especially thank all the teams involved in developing this proposition, and please forgive me if I missed anybody while doing this. In the product team, there's the debit card team, obviously very strongly involved, the current account team, the third-party product team, which includes the general insurance, the life insurance, and the Kotak Securities teams. We have marketing, obviously notwithstanding. They've been a complete pillar to us. Alliances, legal and compliance, the prime team, which is the car team, customer experience, who was obviously involved in our entire customer insight. The entire insights that we got, the customer experience team helped us, thanks to Kamlesh Vora. The operations team, the CDU team, process, IT, BSG, and the assets team. Thank you, everyone. And the training team, which is going to help us even in the future. Thank you so much, Nidhi and team, and Narayanan. And we hope that we are able to bring this to the road shows. And now it's time for dinner. So enough has been said, and we can all go. Very important, there's a photo booth over there, so you all can do your selfies. There are takeaways for everyone today, and for the RMs, there's your dossiers lying over there, so please do collect it while going. For the rest of the people online, the dossiers will be reaching you during the road shows. Thank you so much, everyone. I want people to please give us a real experience of the welcome kits over there. I want feedback from people. We will be recording your experience, so please do give feedback. I'd request you all to do the unboxing of the welcome kit, please. Thank you.